Today we are doing something very different. We are going to take a look at the Guild Wars manual, because back in the day, manuals were actual books with a story explaining lore, characters, and so on. On the wiki page, you can find the PDF files for all original manuals. And I already opened the manual for Prophecies, and we are just going to take a quick scroll through the whole thing and see if we can find something funny or something like beautiful art, something like that. And there's already beautiful art right here. There's even contents, basically dividing the manual into different books. And then there's starts off with like a foreword about the manuscript, what you can find in each book. So in book 1 we have the lore of Guild Wars. In book 2 we got the challenge. And those are pretty much the content. So it starts off with the lore right here. And with the Nolani Academy and Devona. So I'm not going to read this, obviously, but if you are interested in the story behind Guild Wars, I can totally recommend reading this, because there's a lot of backstory that you won't find even if you play through the complete campaign. So this is actually some really good stuff with dialogues and some fun remarks at the game. There's some art right here. And so back in the day, what I did always was, I went to go and buy a game in the store, and then on my way home, like in the subway, I already unpacked the contents and read through the manual as child, young teenager, and basically hyped myself up to play as soon as I got home. And I did this as well in downtimes, like during gameplay. I grabbed the manual and then basically when I went to the toilet and grabbed the manual there and read some more. And I did this for many games. Also, I really like the smell of fresh manuals, fresh books. I'm a big comic book fan, and I do collect comic books on the side. So here we got book 1, chapter 1, History of Tyria. So I do read a lot of Marvel and DC and Image comics. But I also like my general books and my game manuals. Big fan of those. So there's a lot of lore here. And now we are getting to some more funny stuff. We have the calendar. So we have the season of Zephyr, the season of the Phoenix, season of the Scion, and season of the Colossus. Air, flame, water, and earth. And 1 year is 360 days, basically. And first 90 day air, next 90 days flame, then water, then earth. We also have like a fun timeline here. The calendar that starts at year 1 AE, the first year after the Exodus. So after Exodus is what AE stands for. I always wondered that. Before Exodus and after Exodus. So right here, 10,000 before Exodus, it all started. The last sign of whatever the creature is, the great giants, walking on Tyrian continent. Best guess. So no one's really sure. Then the serpents arrive in Tyria. Humans appear on Tyrian continent 205 BE. High Plains settlements. Then 1 BE, the gods give magic to races of Tyria. 2 AE, the Or becomes an independent nation. Then we have the serpents leave the world of men. Kanta begins trading with Tyria. Krita becomes a colony in 300 AE. That's funny. Then they become an independent nation a few years later. 500 years later, Lord Ordran enters the Rift. And then we have, a few years later, the Great Northern Wall is erected. 1013 AE, the Guild Wars begin. 1070 AE, Char invade the human kingdoms. So this is basically pre-Searing, I guess. 1070 AE, Guild Wars end. 1071 AE, the Bay of Sirens is renamed Sea of Sorrows. And then 1072 AE, we have the present day, post-Searing, I guess. There's some more beautiful art here. We have Book 1, Chapter 2 now, the Human Kingdoms. So it explains the history behind each kingdom. The Kingdom of Or. So there's a lot of story here for everyone who likes that stuff. Krita. And this artwork is just really pretty. Book 1, Chapter 3, The Old Gods. Of course we have Dwayna, who is in Ashford Abbey in pre-Searing. We have Balthazar, who is in the Greenhill County in pre-Searing. Then we have Grenth. He's in the catacombs, I believe. And then we have Lissa. I don't remember right now where she is, but she's somewhere as well. Melandru, of course. And then we go to Book 1, Chapter 4, The Guild Wars Personalities. And of course it starts with King Adalbern. He was born in Drasir. He's a warrior. And he's 61. I would have guessed him a little older, maybe. Descendant from the great King Doric, King Adalbern is well liked by the citizens of Ascalon. His easy demeanor and battlefield heroics secured his spot as one of the most popular kings in the history of the walled nation. Okay. We also have Prince Rurik, of course, who is also a warrior, and he is aged 32 years old. Firstborn son of King Adalbern and heir to the throne of Ascalon. We have King Jealous, the dwarf, who is 127 years old. I did not expect that. We have Divona, our heroine. She was born in Rin, actually. And she is 24 years old. Basically everyone who has something to say in this game is a warrior. Divona is quite serious and direct in her dealings with others. She aspires to be a great warrior, just like her father. And then we have Sin. Sin is actually also in pre-Searing. She is, like if you go up the stairs to Rurik and then walk right from Rurik, you will find her stand there. She is born in Sirmia and is an elementalist, our first non-warrior character. And she's only 20 years old. Very interesting. We have Aiden, who is the hunter trainer, one of the hunter trainers. He's also 32, just like Rurik. And then we have Menlo. He is 22 years old. I expect him to be much older, actually, like 40 or something. Book 1, Chapter 5, Enemy Armies. We have the Char, of course. The big bad Char. Yuck, furries. The Stone Summit. The Undead, of course. Yeah, there we go. Book 1, Chapter 6, Regions and Landscapes. This is so detailed, it's amazing. Regions and Landscapes, the Ruins of Ascalon. We have the Shivering Mountains, of course, always annoying to be stuck there. Then we get Krita, which is when the game becomes a little more pretty again in color. And then we have the Maguma Jungle, which is honestly where I always stop playing when I play when I try and play Post. Like once a year I get really motivated and try and play Post. I always stop playing in the Maguma Jungle and I'm like, I could just play Pre. We have the Crystal Desert, really pretty. The Ring of Fire Island, which is where the game pretty much ends, I guess. Well, and then there's the Underworld. The Hall of Heroes. Book 1, Chapter 7, Creatures of Tyria. Oh wow, this is so detailed. I love this. Creatures of Tyria. Okay, we have the Devourers, of course. They were sighted in Old Ascalon, Nolani, and Region Valley. Don't have to tell me that. The Gargoyles, often seen scavenging near ruins of Ascalon or along the beaches of Krita. We have the Grawl, also reportedly seen in the southern Shiver Peaks. No way. The Elementals, Old Ascalon Pookmark Flats. I never heard of those. Drakes, Twin Serpent Lakes, Stingray Strand. We have the Tengu, of course. Raiding the settlements outside of Lion's Arch. We have the Scale, we know where those are. And we have Big Bad Trolls. Every game has to have them. Some other creatures include the Lynx, the Warthog, the Snow Wolf. They forgot the worst of them all, the bear that has to cast their auto attack. Book 2, The Challenge. Chapter 1, A Hero's Life. So there's more. Oh, okay. Gaining levels. Let's read this. As you travel through Tyria, joining adventuring parties, completing missions, or recruiting henchmen for more casual exploration, your hero will earn experience points and gain experience levels. With each level comes an increase in maximum health, which makes you harder to kill. Improving attributes, skill points, the 6 professions. Let's read about those. Primary profession, and then there's a secondary. Attributes. I wish they would have explained something like some story about every profession or something. Maybe that's still to come. Primary attributes. Attribute point allocation, okay. Oh, here we go. The warrior. Oh, I wonder what the warriors are about. Warriors rely on stout hearts, brutal strength, and melee weapons to subdue their enemies and protect their allies. They generally disdain long-range warfare, preferring instead to charge directly into the fray, swinging their weapon of choice. Well, unless you play warrior/elementalist or warrior/ranger and pre. That's the artwork for them here. We have the ranger. Rangers are unique in their ability to succeed with the help of, or even in spite of, their environment. Nature rituals allow them to manipulate the environment to hinder their enemies or borrow the very power of creation to heal and aid their allies. Okay. Very pretty art. Well, the guys kind of look like the beard. I mean, at least shave yourself, buddy. The monk. They should have just not put the text and just put like LOL in here. The monk, LOL. Monks employ a direct conduit to the gods, and the answers to their prayers come in the form of healing and protecting for their allies and damage to their enemies. Combined with any other profession, monks can alternate between supporting their party and dealing damage to opponents. Goddamn. Those shoulders are what got many to play monk back in the day. Elementalist. Elementalists summon the powers of earth, air, fire, and water, and command them at will. They can inflict more damage in a single strike than any other profession. Oh damn. Earth magic summons quakes and eruptions, encases enemies in stone or protects allies. Air magic harnesses the power of tempests to strike foes down with lightning or enable allies to run like the wind. Fire magic manifests flames, fireballs, molten lava, and even meteors to burn enemies to a crisp. Water magic conjures mist and ice to slow enemy movements and attacks. Blur visions protect allies against magic and inflict cold damage on enemies. Like, I never understood why anyone would ever play a male elementalist. That's just completely beyond me. I mean, they look so stupid. Even after 20 years, I did not warm up to them at all. Mesmers are masters of illusion and control, subverting the enemy's energy for their own own use, and that of their allies. Combined with any other profession, their skills provide excellent support, turning enemies of power against them and changing the very fabric of reality to hinder foes and help allies. Oh no. Necromancers are masters of the dark arts, calling on the spirits of the dead and even death itself to overpower enemies and assist allies. In sacrificing health and taking curses and diseases upon themselves, they can deal large amounts of damage to those foolish enough to oppose them. Alright. Customize your appearance. Uh-oh. We can't say that anymore. You mean body type, right? Oh boy. Book 2, Chapter 2, Playing Guild Wars. Move your hero. All them key bindings. Minimap. District menu. Okay. Make contact. Create a party, henchman, weaponsmith, crafters, skill trainers, traders. Chapter 3. Combat Basic Training. Yeah, now they just explain the UI. We don't need to read that. Death penalty. Enchantments and hexes. Fighting creatures. Player versus player PvP. The skills. Basically what different kinds of skills exist. Primary versus secondary. Counter strategies. Conditions. Real-time strategy. And then guilds. Yay, tabards. Create a guild, invite members, guild ladder, guild hall. Missions and quests. That's a very pretty art. Tournament play. Oh shit, is this on esport? Goddamn. It used to be. The adventure awaits. You've heard the call of duty. You've accepted the challenge. Now all that remains is to strap on your armor, take up your weapon, and embark on the adventure that is Guild Wars. You are the hero your people have been waiting for. May the gods be with you. Aw, and I guess that's it. I like how they ended with a moa. Alright. That has been the Guild Wars Prophecies manual. I really like that stuff, and back in the day I read that all the time, like actually in my hands. But yeah, this was fun to go through again after all those years, and I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you so much for watching, and have a good one. Bye bye.